Okay, what is up, Brez? Now, I know this may look funny, but before we get into the top 10 figures of 2022, we have to start off with the honorable mentions. And the reason why I literally picked these figures and put them in honorable mentions is because I found other figures that I wanted to add to the list that I thought might be better. And that's not to say these figures are not great. Trust me, all of these girls are amazing. I'm not gonna lie. The only thing is, I found figures that were better. There are other figures that came out that are better. Now, starting off with Makoto. This figure is perfect, but the only reason why she's not in the top 10 list is because she's literally just a reuse of the schoolgirl Emily figure from Figma. Which the only thing that really just stands out about this figure one is the hand accessories, which is the middle finger and the brass knuckles. And then the faces, mainly the face mask and all of that. And the wooden sword that she comes with. Now, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Like when I see Figma do stuff like this, it shows me that they're willing to go and do a lot more edgier things. And I love it when companies do edgier things, man, because that's what I love. And instead of just the same old stuff. Now, on to these two girls. Now, Maureen and Soletta, these are literally, I'm not even gonna lie. Okay, as much as I talk down on Bandai's figurized model kits, I'm not even gonna lie. These two girls right here are literally a step up in figurized model kit game. If you collect a variety of model kits like I do, you will know that figurize is like literally the worst. Well, I ain't gonna say it's the worst. It's meh compared to most model kits. But these two right here show you that they can do better. And because like Soletta and Marine literally look like SH figure arts. They look like they literally just walked out of the anime. They're the same size. They're in scale with Figmas and other figure arts. On top of that, they their body proportions isn't as bulbish as what a model kit would be. Like they actually look like figurines. They don't look like model kits. Like you can literally look at these and tell that they wouldn't and I'd be able to tell that I had to put this together. But only issues is another reason why they didn't make the top 10 list is that they have problems staying together. Like Marine, her head pops off a tad bit too easy, which that can get annoying for somebody who wants to pose it around. And the legs on Soletta does not stay on, or well, at least on mine, the legs don't stay on worth nothing. But getting into what I always say, these are not action figures. These are the literally like figures that's meant for display. These are collectibles. So, as annoying as it may be, you got to keep in mind that these are not meant to be played with. Like once you build them, they're meant to be put on the shelf for display. Put them in a simple pose, put it on the shelf, let it sit to look good. And if you want to change the pose, pick it up, change it again, put it back on the shelf. Like that's the purpose of a model kit. Well, I ain't gonna lie, that's the purpose of collectible figures in general, if you want to be honest. They're not like kid toys like Hasbro's or like Lynx. So now moving on. This right here, only reason why I threw her in is because one, I like Lynx, I like Fortnite, I like Cat Girls, and she's a badass character, and she's one of my favorite characters in Fortnite. And this is a repaint of the black version that came out, I want to say, last year or the year before. Either way, it's all right. So I mean, I only threw it in here because I like the character. Now, getting on to who should I go? I'm gonna get into Rouge. Now, Rouge, though she's not a superposable figure, the only reason why I threw her in as an honorable mention is because Rouge is waifu bae material. Rouge is the bae. Rouge is waifu. Anybody that has ever done watched Sonic Loves Rouge, like, let's be real. Like, let's be real. Like, let's be real. If it's any, like, bro, if it's any furry character that anybody would be into, it would be Rouge. Like, let's be real. Rouge is amazing. So that's why she's on this list. Now, getting to Demona. Now, the reason why I threw this figure in here is because I love Demona. And on top of that, Gargoyles is one of my favorite animated TV series of all time. Now, on top of that, I love the character of Demona. And when I found out she had a figure coming, I couldn't help but just get excited. So I threw this figure in here as an honorable mention. This is a beautiful, well sculpted, perfect figure. And if anybody loves this character or likes Gargoyles or just like these type of characters that can fit in with like mythic legions or any type of fantasy world building stuff that you can do, these type of characters, they're it. With that being said, I love this character. I love this figure, and she's great. She's perfect. And ain't really no downsides to her. Only downside to her, you might have to add a little bit of super glue onto the pegs behind her faceplate, because her faceplate doesn't stay on all that well. But then again, you get that with a lot of figure arts and Figmas. So that's not even a gripe. Other than that, if you see this character, pick her up. She's a great figure. And not on top of that, Demona is bae, she is waifu, and them cheeks would be clapped 1,000 times. Now, moving on to this one. The deep breath. And I know y'all can hear the train in the background, but I'm not gonna stop it. So, bruh. The reason, okay, I was finna put the CDL RC Nice E in her own top 10 slot, but the only reason why I didn't do it is because, and only simply because it's I don't technically want to say it's because it's a knockoff, but I will say this. Okay, I ain't gonna lie, it's technically because it's a knockoff. This figure is pretty great and beautiful, but I have the original Nice E and I have the other releases from Big Firebird. And to be honest with y'all already know what's half is gonna be on my list. So I wanted to give her own slot because this right here is literally, as I said in the review, how you do a knockoff figure. Like, yes, you may have a few loose joints and things may pop off here and there, but this is the definition of if you're going to do a bootleg knockoff figure, this right here is how you do it. The CDL-RC is how you do it. This is actually one of my favorite, if not my favorite, bootleg, because it doesn't even feel like a bootleg. It feels like a regular figure. But the only reason why I didn't put her there is because I have other stuff that's gonna be on the list. But other than that, man, look, this is a perfect figure. If you can't afford to get the Big Firebird, I still do recommend this, simply because of how beautiful and well painted and well sculpted this is. It, like, you wouldn't even know this was a bootleg if you bought it. So go out and get her. This is a beautiful figure. I still want to put her in the top 10, but I got other figures in the top 10 that I wanted to add to the list. So I didn't want to take up a slot with her. But with that being said, those are all my honorable mentions. These are all good figures. Go pick them up. They're all great. They're all perfect. Now, let's get into the actual review.